Podcasting can be incredibly rewarding, while at the same time, totally draining. I'm not here to sugarcoat it for you. If you're starting a podcast, there are 10 things you're gonna wanna think about before you press record. Hi, I'm Maribel, a podcast and video producer. Welcome to RSS.com's YouTube channel, where we share helpful tips to start, grow, and monetize your podcast. If this is what you're into, make sure you click that subscribe button. Now, let's talk about the 10 things you need to think about before launching your podcast. 1, do you actually have time for this? A simple interview or chat podcast can take you between 5 and 10 hours of your time per episode, and that doesn't include the time to promote it. Keep in mind that this is only an estimate, so ask around to see how other podcasters are managing their time. 2, who is your audience? The biggest mistake podcasters make when launching their show is not answering this question. You have to know who you're talking to if you want to reach them. And believe me, if you're trying to reach everyone, you won't make a listener out of anyone. So take the time to define your target audience and get as specific as you can. Describe what they like, what they're into, where they spend their time, how old they might be, and even where they live. 3, why should your audience care to listen? You need to have a compelling topic, theme, or consistent reason for people to tune in. 4, what podcast format works best for you? Some people pick solo episodes, some share the mic with a co-host, and others like interviewing guests. 5, do you have the right equipment? I mean, you could record into your phone if you want to keep it super basic. But if you want to have solid audio quality, you'll need at least a microphone, a mic stand, and plug-in headphones. Plus, of course, and I hope it goes without saying, a quiet space to record. 6, how often will you release new episodes? Weekly? Bi-weekly? Monthly? It's up to you and what your audience prefers. 7, who will edit your podcast? Unless you're very comfortable with sound engineering, make sure you work with someone who has a real understanding of audio techniques. Unless you want to get super frustrated. 8, what happens after you complete the episodes? You can't just keep this podcast to yourself. You gotta share it with the world. So think about where you will host it, because it needs to be distributed to all of the podcast players like Apple and Spotify so that you can reach more listeners. RSS.com does the hard work for you. You can create a free account and launch your podcast in minutes. 9, how will you promote your podcast episodes? A lot of work happens after you publish your podcast, like sharing it with people so that they can like it and share it with their people. This is how your podcast will reach new listeners and grow. But you need a plan. Will you use social media, blog posts, newsletters? Even billboard ads are helping podcasters find new listeners. 10, how will you track your metrics? It's helpful to keep tabs on what episodes are doing well. So make sure that you keep track of your download numbers, completion rates, and other things that can give you an idea of what's connecting with your audience. RSS.com gives you access to that in your podcast analytics. These are the 10 things you need to think about when starting your podcast. If you like this video, let us know in the comments below, and check out the rest of our tutorials and tips.